All right, Post Time fans, it's time for an Ask Dr. Baldt segment. In these clips, Dr. Christopher Baldt gives us insight on different equine subjects, from head to tail. Today, we wanted him to give us a little lesson on conformation. Take it away, Dr. Baldt.
So conformation is basically when you take a look at a horse, there's a balance and symmetry that each horse has from its genetics. Whether the legs are evenly spaced front to back and from the side, whether the torso and whether the neck, the shoulders, anything like that are properly positioned from growth. There's a lot of problems that can confer with conformational issues. So we'll often see a horse that might have a rotation in its hocks, these joints in the back. They could be what's called cow-hocked, or they could be outward hocked. And when a horse is cow-hocked, it's not necessarily a big problem, but it puts extra strain on some of the other joints, not only the hock, but the stifle and the back. And so over time, the wear and tear could also develop what's called osteoarthritis. One of the big things that we see is when we see wideness in the front or too narrow spacing between the front legs. So oftentimes you'll have an interference from the hind leg to the front leg and also on a diagonal. And those things can become problematic as there is a issue with can be trauma over time. And I think those are some of the most conformation problems that we see. Oftentimes horses will also have conformational problems in their shoulders, so their shoulders will end up paddling rather than striding forward and back. So with conformation problems that come with a horse, there are often ways of balancing it out using different types of straps, bracing, and training methods that you can minimize the problems. Some horses have towing in, some horses have towing out. So when you assess a horse, especially with a pre-purchase exam, you want to make sure that the conformation is correct for the breed, but obviously with the best conformation is going to be the best price. And so as we get a more perfect horse, it's going to function the way that it was designed, and you're going to have less problems overall. So those are the conformational problems that you see. If it becomes chronic in the lower extremities, something called ring bone can develop, and that's like an osteoarthritis in one of the lower joints, and oftentimes something called side bone, which is a calcification of one of the little small side bones in the lower leg itself. That in and of itself becomes unstable, then it can create problems over time, and oftentimes that area has to be treated as a veterinary. Sometimes they'll tighten the area up through pin firing, things like that. So those things can be due to conformation also. So if you have a farrier that knows how to balance out the hooves and a trainer that knows how to compensate for it, any kind of conformational problem will be less noticeable in your standardbred.
As always, we'd like to thank Dr. Baldt for joining us for another educational segment. And we want to remind our viewers to check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Posttime Show, where you can find so many more informative Dr. Baldt videos. By the way, if you would like to reach out to him directly, just log on to his website at drbaldt.com.